Well, prynhawn da I chi gyd. I do have slides, although bits of them are going to be missing, so apologies for that. What we've been trying to do in our Circular Economy Innovation Communities project, or CAKE, is change people's behaviour and help people understand that our behaviour has led to many of the climate, in fact, all of the climate issues that we're experiencing. So I'm going to challenge you here with a quick experiment. I'd like you to fold your arms. And now I'd like you to unfold them and fold them a different way. And Alan, albeit none of you can see this, has perfectly demonstrated, which hopefully you all experience as well. That's not quite as easy folding them the different way, is it? And fundamentally, that's the challenge that we face as social scientists, is encouraging, supporting organisations and actually people in organisations to behave differently. And so that's what we've been trying to do. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the programme that we've been running that's informed by social learning theory and design changes to people's behaviour. So there are both huge human reasons for us needing to transition to a circular economy, as well as economic and policy. Sadly, reading on the weekend, more than 7 people have died in the floods emanating from the heavy rain in the Alps. We probably know a bit closer to home 4 people died in the north of England due to floods. That is climate-related disasters. The term is often used, but it's climate-induced change. There are a series of policies that have encouraged us, particularly in Wales, to adopt or transition to a circular economy, and there is legislation coming down the track that will support businesses, encourage them, albeit extended producer responsibility was put back a year, but they are going to support and encourage organisations to adopt more circular practices and move away from that linear economy that we currently operate in. Some research from about 5 years ago from Ellen MacArthur suggested about half of the problem that's causing climate-related disasters is greenhouse gas emissions, albeit a more recent report is suggesting actually it's more circular-based practices that will help us solve the problem. So more recently, the UN have argued that actually it's the linear economy and our extractive processes that are leading to those climate-related disasters. So, yeah, basically 60% of the challenge we face is in changing from a linear processes to a circular economy operating model. And the challenge there is twofold. Firstly, understanding of circular economy principles across organisations is not well embedded. And if you're familiar with the Rogers adoption curve, the data on the left, so from some research that we did for Welsh Gov, points out that only probably the early adopters are engaged at this point in understanding circular principles and trying to implement across their organisations. So that's the adoption challenge. The other half, or part of the problem, is the fact that only half of all organisations, well, less than half of organisations in Wales, and it's true for most of the UK as well, are innovation active. So in order to support organisations, firstly, to understand circular principles, and then embed, we both need to develop that awareness and enhance their innovation capabilities. And whilst organisations, particularly execs, will tell you how important innovation is, there's few examples, or 8% it suggests there, of organisations that have innovation-wide innovation processes, practices. So what I did was designed a programme that aimed to support individuals, practitioners, professionals from organisations, firstly to understand circular economy principles, the golden thread as we called it, and then develop their innovation capability by taking them through what is predominantly the design thinking process, with the key couple of differences. Firstly, we couched the programme as a community of practice and created what we call a programme community of practice so that people understand behaviours. And if you are going to encourage organisations to change, it's better to do that with other organisations So we adopted social learning principles, but also we created a community of practice. So we created peer support mechanisms amongst practitioners and peer review or critical friend relationships amongst those practitioners. And what was key was introducing innovation dynamics in a 2-day residential. That way they understand the fundamentals and the barriers to innovation. And sometimes it's as simple as helping people understand that changing your behavior is difficult, and changing organizational behavior requires some energy and enthusiasm from individuals. And then we took them through the design thinking approach, or human-centered design, which is, some of you in the room will certainly know this pattern or those series of events. And we run those workshops, 1-day workshops, 1 per month, over a period of 7 months in order for them to implement the learning back in the workplace and then learn with and from peers that were part of the program. So apparently, Etienne Wenger and Jean Lave, who wrote the book on communities of practice, differed on whether you can create or not. Etienne Wenger is still writing an awful lot. He argues you can create communities of practice, so obviously I'm on his side. And we created that community of practice by using social learning theory principles. So basically all of the 2-day residential is made up of exercises or simulations that are carried out in groups, which teaches some key principles and models associated with innovation, what we describe as innovation dynamics. Taking those groups through those exercises or challenges, they get to know each other, they develop conversations, they start to understand what each other's organizations does, what their unique characteristics are. And no doubt if Martin would have taken part, we would all have a fridge thermometer by this point. One great example that we can point to is Cumtav Health Board took part in the programme, as did Elite Paper Solutions. Cumtav realised that they pay an awful lot of money for cardboard to be taken away. What they did is understood that that cardboard could be made into another product, obviously part of a circular mindset. So they gift that to Elite Paper Solutions in Merthyr. They turn it into animal bedding, which they now sell to South Wales Police, dog and equine sections. And it's a better product because it's lower dust and it's actually cheaper. So great example of how you can adopt very basic circular ideas, circular principles, into a new product or service solution. That's what our innovation ecosystem currently looks like. Pre-December, as I said, we were public service predominant, funded and third sector, so a large percentage of the participants are public and third. Since Christmas, we've had funds to support businesses, so we've now got a growing number of businesses taking part. That means 250 people, 140 organisations have taken part in our programme over the last 3 years. So we're growing the ecosystem, we're encouraging those businesses to talk to each other, to work with each other, and to develop new service solutions or products. Our external evaluation is available on the website. It said very nice things about us, but that's very encouraging, as well as a lot of the research that we've produced. So I think I'm probably out of time. I wish I did have a bigger frame, so I do love that, and I am going to borrow it and use it at some point. Do check out the website. We've got a great video that talks you through, or actually takes you through the waste cardboard example, as well as lots of other videos that are about 3 minutes. So if you are suffering from insomnia, do check out Nick and I's paper about regional ecosystems. But if you just want to look at the short videos, do go to the website. Thank you.